Hello and welcome to Traveling with Luigi. In this episode, my wife and I will visit Meteora in Greece. But we need to start with understanding what is Meteora. Well, it's a rock formation like the one you see on the monitor. It is located in central Greece. So the Greek Orthodox Church built these monasteries on top of these rock formations. And the idea was perhaps it was a secluded place closer to God. Some of them are dated as early as the 14th century, but recently or currently only 6 of them can be visited by the public, of which 4 of them we're going to visit on this video. It's also a UNESCO Worldwide Heritage Site, and it was declared so in 1989, and is the largest archaeological area in Greece. But how do we get there? So let's take a look at the map. So if you are in the city of Athens, your hotel, you have 2 options. One of them is a minivan, as you see here, and the other one is take a train. We went for the minivan for 5 people. It was about to break even in terms of cost. It was so much more convenient. So this is the city of Kalabaka, and that is the Divani hotel where we stayed at. And as you can see, it's just wonderful, the view out there of the rock formations. The hotel was very comfortable, as you appreciate here. It was very elegant, and we had a very good stay. So Divani Hotel is, this is the evaluation by Luigi. It was very clean. Check-in and out process was a breeze. In terms of views and hospitality, top rating as well. Great value for the money. Convenient location to see all of the Meteora area, and the food was good. We had breakfast included in the hotel bill, and for other meals, especially dinner, we went out to the city of Kalabaka. So let's take a look at Agios Stefanos, about 11 minutes away from the hotel by car, and this is how the monastery looks like. It's quite impressive, isn't it? Well, this is one of the monasteries that does not require you to climb up a lot of stairs to get to it. So if you have some physical limitations, this will be the perfect place for you to visit first. As you can see here, the architecture is very nice. You have the walls built with rocks and the stones, and the wood can tell us that it's very well maintained. It's almost like they just painted it. So very nice, as you can see. On the right hand side of this video, you can appreciate the bells. Those things are actually used to summon or to indicate certain times of the day. Now, we were not able to get inside the church, for it is forbidden. This is the view from the monastery. It's just amazing. And there was a little chapel that caught my eye, as well as a water well, as you can see here in these pictures. Moving on to Dormition of the Virgin Mary Church. We head back to town about 20 minutes or so. This is the leader of our group, Ria. She is an excellent guide, 100% recommended. What's so important about this church? Well, it was built upon was originally a temple to Apollo from the pre-Christian era. And this altar you are looking at here is part of such temple, along with some other things around the church. But let's listen to what our guide Ria has to say about the frescoes.
Even if the frescoes are destroyed, faded, burned, or anything like that, we are not allowed to go and draw and paint new frescoes on top of old frescoes.
She's just great. And now if you walk outside the church, you can see some engravements on the walls, supposed to be Apollo's face, and some other decorations as you see here. Next on the list, we visited the Hermit caves of Badovas, and these caves are bored or built on the side of the mountain, as you see here. And those were special places for the monks to retire and meditate and live in them. Now this is located about 6 minutes from the church that we just visited, and this is a close-up that illustrates that they are not quite comfortable. It's not very big, and you basically have to climb on the side of the mountain to get to them. It is the end of our first day, so we move on to the main observation deck. And really, there are no words that I can use to describe what this place looks like in a sunset. Now, these pictures make a good representation of what it was like to be there, but in reality, just the Meteora formations and the sunset behind the mountain and the green trees around the mountains as well, in conjunction with the monasteries, it was just a unique sight. Very enjoyable. We took a lot of pictures, and it is just amazing. All right, so we went back to the hotel, and the next day we headed for the San Nikolaos Monastery. Again, about 11 to 15 minutes away. This is the view from the road. As you can see, it's about a 10 to 15 minute walk to get up there, and in the beginning it's as wide that a car can actually access it. Of course, we see here the symbol of Christianity, the cross, on the way there, and this is my wife as we are climbing up to get to the monastery. At some points there are some shortcuts, as you see here, and this is what it looks like at the base of the monastery, at the foot of the mountain, if you will. Now we start the ascent in somewhat a narrow, this is probably the narrowest step or a staircase that we have there. And the views are just beautiful. It was a little sunny that morning, as you can see, so the shots were a little bit very high contrast. This is what you see from the top of the monastery, and we were not able to record inside, for it was forbidden. So that there is the elevator they used to bring the goods or any supplies up to the monastery. All right, moving on, we go to the Grand Meteoron, and it receives its name because it's the greatest, the largest monastery that you can find in Meteora. And it's not that far from the San Nikolaos Monastery, about 10 minutes or so. And upon arrival, we are faced with an entrance that you have to go through a cave. Now, the monastery that looks in the distance is Varlaam, which will be the monastery that we will go after we visited this one. Again, the views are just amazing of the rock formations, and as we continue climbing up, again, about 10 to 15 minutes climb, you have to be physically fit to be able to do this properly. Once we are inside, we face this very large construction, very well maintained. Everything is meticulously clean and painted, and it looks in excellent condition. Also, there were some frescoes, as you see here, that will represent some of the saints of the Greek Orthodox Church, as well as some scientists. Very interesting as well. These are some of the details of the courtyard at the entrance of the monastery and the architecture that they have. Again, these are the bells that they use to indicate certain hours of the day or to summon people. And what is the view looking like? It's just fantastic. That's the city of Kalabaka right there on the distance. So beautiful. We move on to Varlaam Monastery. This is about 2 minutes by car, really close by. And upon arrival, we saw this transportation car that is used to move goods and people between monastery and different places. The view as we approach the monastery is just impressive. And one of the things that we liked about it is that the stairs that go up to the monastery were quite wide, wider than San Nikolaos for sure. And the view is, of course, is amazing as we had before. There were quite a few visitors with us that day, so it looked like a busy day with quite a few people. Nevertheless, there was enough room for everybody, very enjoyable. In this case, we were able to enter the room right before entering the church. So this is what it looks like, decorated with frescoes and very colorful paintings of frescoes as well on the ceiling. So very nice, beautiful place with amazing views. As you can see here, this is a barrel that was used at some point to store water and at some point to store wine as well. And again, the elevator that of course is motorized these days and that they use to bring goods or supplies to the monastery. as easy as possible. Well friends, that about wraps it up for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we definitely recommend you visit the Meteora in Greece, the city of Kalabaka. It's just an amazing experience that my wife and I really enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next episode, and as I usually say, happy travels!